All right. Peace and good vibes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Um, I'm just gonna get right into it and get started. Earthquakes, and the total blood moon lunar eclipse. First, I want to talk about the earthquakes. So, I live here in South Carolina, in Columbia, and I would say since January of 2022, we've been experiencing earthquakes, quite often, more often than I've ever experienced before. So, off and on. So far, we have had about 72 earthquakes. Um, I would say sporadically, um, I would say since January of 2023. Uh, so most of the earthquakes that we have had have um, measured around 2.5. I think we had like a 3.5 in June, if I'm not mistaken. It was either June or July. I remember quite well because the last one, it really shook. It shook the house. It felt like I was laying on my bed, relaxing, and it just shook. So I posted immediately on Twitter. Um, and then I went outside to check with my neighbors to see if they felt it. Checked with my Facebook friends, and they all confirmed that they felt it too. So it's been a lot going on, um, as far as earthquakes and other natural disasters. We got a lot of rain and wind from Hurricane Ian, and we're also going to talk about the tropical storm coming up, Tropical Storm Nicole, which they say is headed toward Florida. And Florida just got hit not too long ago by Hurricane Ian, and here we received a lot of rain and wind from Hurricane Ian. So right now, we are looking at the storm, and they believe that we are going to get more wind and rain. So the last time we were out, due to the weather conditions, and it's a possibility that we'll be out again, but we don't know. But we will definitely keep an eye out on that. Um, but back to the earthquakes. And on October 30th, Sunday, October 30th, we just had another earthquake measuring at a 2.5. And that was Sunday night around 9:30 p.m. Um, and of course, I heard the rumble first, and then the shaking. So I'm wondering, is South Carolina becoming the new mini California? I don't know, because we've been getting a lot of seismic activity going on, and it could be due to fracking. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure, but I think that they have been doing fracking in Elgin because that's where the bulk of the earthquakes have been hitting. Um, and earlier on, there were some in Jenkinsville, South Carolina. So it was Jenkinsville, Elgin, and here in Columbia, we also felt some of the rumblings. A lot of times, they'll feel it in Elgin, where or there'll be an earthquake in Elgin, and we won't feel it here, because it's so small. But Elgin is so close, so we're so close by. Maybe 3 to 5 minute drive from Elgin. Uh, but I would say maybe less than 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes away. Um, Less than a 10-minute drive. So they were, I believe, that they were doing some um, digging in the ground in South Carolina, and it says here, are mines causing South Carolina earthquakes? And DHEC says no. So DHEC stands for the Department of Health and Environmental Control. Um, and so they were trying to figure out why so many earthquakes have been happening here lately, because normally we don't get earthquakes. We are It's not uncommon for us, you know uh not to have earthquakes. I mean, you know but they're trying to figure out why or what's causing it. And I thought that, I read earlier on they were doing some type of digging or fracking um, in Elgin, but uh, DHEC is saying that that isn't the case. And this article that I'm reading, from the Post and Courier, was posted on May 10th, 2022 by Jessica Holdman. And the article reports that a total of 30 earthquakes have been recorded near the small Midlands town of Elgin, 20 miles northeast of Columbia, since Christmas, according to U.S. Geological Survey data. So, um, like I say, Elgin is not far from me at all. Um, so it says the tremors, the strongest, registering just above 3 magnitude, have caused no major known damage, or led to any significant disruptions, and that's true so far. And so people now are concerned whether or not, these small earthquakes that we're having, are they going to lead to something bigger, or to a larger earthquake? That is something that we don't know, um, and that we can't predict. But not too long ago, um, the schools had the earthquake drill. So they had the students practice, how, just in case if there's ever an earthquake that happens, they want you to get under the desk, which I don't, there's really no safe place, um, so to speak, for an earthquake. But that's what they have been taught, and that's what they're teaching the kids, is to get under your desk and cover your head. But yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that because I don't think I've really talked about the earthquakes that we have been having. I've talked about it on other social media sites, but I haven't talked about it here on YouTube. So I wanted to bring some light to that, to you guys, because I thought that it was kind of strange, because we're just not used to getting those earthquakes. The last earthquake I remember, um, was maybe 2008, 2009, somewhere around that time. But I mean, I digress. I could be wrong on the year, but it was somewhere around that time frame, the last one that I remember. But these earthquakes that we've been having in 2022, um, are most recent, and they are more prevalent. And I believe that there are more earthquakes to come. So we just have to, um, well, there really isn't anything that you can do to prepare for an earthquake. I mean, because it's just unexpected. You don't know when it's coming unless, your intuition kicks in and tells you, hey, that down an earthquake. But anyway, I digress. Let's keep moving. So this article that I'm going to talk about now comes from the New York Post. Just in case you guys want to check it out for yourself, or for yourselves, we're talking about the lunar eclipse that's happening on tomorrow, Tuesday, November 8th. Um, and you can see it here in North America. It's going to be early in the morning, though. So if you want to check it out, you can. And I think we just recently had a lunar eclipse, but this is the last lunar eclipse until March 14th, 2025. So um, we are so you can check that out tomorrow. So it says here a blood moon total lunar eclipse will roar within the sky on November 8th, 2022. Prepare for disdained events to take place, endings, revelations, breakthroughs, and breakdowns. Now, I want to talk about that. This is nothing for you to get all bent out of shape of, upset, or worried, or whatever, or what have you. Um, these astrological events happen, and I'm looking at it from an esoteric point, or an esoteric standpoint, or point of view. Um, so basically, with these types of events and these types of things that happen so above, so below. Um, so the blood moon brings about certain changes, so to speak. So we just have to be mindful and keep our eyes open. So this is one coming from the New York Post if you want to check it out. And the article is by Kyle Thomas, and this is from November 7th, which is today actually. This is today's article, November 7th. So, um, and the article goes on to read, it says, the energy has been building for weeks and now the big news will arrive. Lunar eclipses are always highly charged periods triggering deep emotions. We always look fate in the eye during these times. And I'm kind of digging this article because it looks at it more from an esoteric standpoint and a spiritual point of view, so to speak. For those of us who understand the specific spiritual system that I'm talking about, not from a religious standpoint, not from a Christian standpoint, and there's nothing wrong with being a Christian, but I'm just looking at it esoterically. I'm looking at it from a different point of view, not a Christian point of view. All right. So, and it goes on to say, read how your zodiac sign will be affected. For more information on the total lunar eclipse, check out the information after the horoscope. So it's got all that good information in here. And also you can check out NASA as well. So we're kicking it off with Aries. So it says a major shift around your financial life has come. This lunar eclipse will shake up your income and wealth. Some of you will see a financial steam end with a new one. While a new one appears, more money may arrive in the form of a raise, side hustle, or a new job offer. Hope so, because I'm an Aries. You may also make a hefty payment near this time too. Watch your expenses, and that's something that I always have to do is watch my expenses because I'm just like, okay. But hopefully, positive things would come out of that. All right, so that's with this lunar eclipse, and so Taurus. Now I am an Aries sun. I am a Taurus moon. It says one of the most important periods of your entire life is upon you, Taurus. As the lunar eclipse electrifies your zodiac sign, a massive disdained event or destined event will rise up for you to face. Major endings, breakthroughs, and breakdowns could occur. Use this period to release the past and anything that isn't serving you or making you happy, especially in regard to relationships. You will suddenly watch as a previous chapter of your life fades away right before your eyes as you step forward into a whole new era. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to actually happen on tomorrow. So, once the lunar eclipse takes place and it aligns in the sky, then maybe within a few days, within a few weeks, within a few months, you'll see some of these events may actually play out in your lives. So, That's how that works. Gemini, the eclipse is shouting at you to lie low and turn within. Gemini, you will need to face your past, your baggage, your anxieties, and your fears. Karma is coming for you. All right, so Gemini, hopefully you have been putting out some positive energy and putting out some good karma so that good karma and good things can come back to you and return to you. Because remember, whatever you do comes back to you. So whatever you put out does that 360 and it comes right back. Um, there may even be a big shakeup around your mental and physical health. Take to talk to specialists or therapists rapidly if you need. However, if you've been involved in some nefarious situations, secrets or scandals may emerge out from the shadows. So be careful, Gemini. All right, and Cancer. It says a huge moment around your friendships and social circle is arriving. Cancer, you may attend a major event or reach a milestone, hope, dream, or aspiration. Another way this could affect you is by having a friend or acquaintance leave your circle or life. Hmm. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a negative thing or it's a bad thing, because if that person in your life that is a part of your circle has been bringing havoc and negative energy, negative vibes, you don't need that type of person or that type of energy around you. But you end up meeting new people who radically shift your life path forever. Be on the lookout for soulmates, either platonic or romantic. So remember, soulmates does not necessarily mean um, a love partner. Soulmate could be your best friend, could be your cousin, could be your mom, could be your dad. It's just the soul tie that the two of you have and that you've bonded before you came to this earth. Now, I know a lot of people may come across this video. You guys may not believe in that, and that's okay. That's okay. You're not here, and that's okay. You don't have to. But that's just basically the basis of soulmate. You can go deeper, but this isn't the video for that. All right, Leo. Let the world hear you roar. Leo. Oh, and by the way, I am a Leo rising. This is according to Western astrology. So the lunar eclipse will ignite your career as well as spotlight your ambitions and public recognition. An award, promotion, new job offer, or publicity may manifest out of thin air. Some of you may even be deciding to turn your professional life into a whole new direction. Yes, it's time for me. All right. And it could be time for you too. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Leo or a Leo rising, what's up out there? Um, if a job ends near this time, search for a new job or path that is more fulfilling. All right, Virgo. Spread your wings and soar. Virgo, the lunar eclipse will empower you with the courage to step out of your comfort zone. You may now reach a victory around a long distance project or a travel situation, perhaps even considering um, immigration. Hmm. Others may decide to pursue further education, or if already in school, hit a milestone that they're proud of. If you're involved with the media, publishing, or international business, big news awaits. All right. So we're on Libra. All right. An extremely intense moment around your partnerships is arriving, Libra. You will now focus on how you share and give and receive. If you're in a healthy rapport, you may now decide to crank up the intimacy. However, if you're on a rocky road or going through a divorce, the path to a settlement may push you in the opposite or may push you in opposite directions. You could hear news of a large settlement, payout, scholarship, or inheritance near this time too, or shift around your assets, stocks, and investments. Right, Scorpio, get ready for an intense and pivotal moment in your life around partnerships, Scorpio. Depending on where you stand, you may now be making major decisions to grow to the next level together, such as moving in, getting engaged, or being wed. If you're looking for the right business partner, such as an agent, assistant, attorney, or an accountant, the two of you may align. Yet, if you're not on the same playing field, this lunar eclipse could bring in intense and dramatic separation or divorce. If single, be on the lookout for a soulmate connection who has long term potential. Alright, go Scorpio. Alright, Sagittarius, get ready for a whirlwind of activity around your daily routine. This lunar eclipse will bring a major ending or a turning point in regard to your employment and responsibilities. Now, I've noticed one thing about like with all of these, well, with a lot of the signs, it's talking about new jobs, new opportunities. So we can be on the lookout for during this um, period of time with this lunar eclipse, some certain events. Such as new jobs, because that's been popping up a lot in these horoscopes. Where am I? Okay. If a job is ending or you choose to leave, be on the hunt for something that is more aligned with your skills and schedule. You may instead hit a prized professional milestone if you've been working hard or on something. However, this lunar eclipse could bring a change around your physical health, fitness, diet, and exercise instead. If you need to see a doctor, do so quickly. So those are these, make sure, and that's just not for Sagittarius. That's for all of us. Just make sure that our health is good and we are on the up and up. Capricorn, prepare for a major moment in your lifetime around matters of the heart, Capricorn. So Capricorn is all about love and relationships right now. The lunar eclipse is bringing a surge of energy to your passion sector, triggering a significant turning point around romance, true love, hobbies, fertility, or creativity. Um, if single, you could cross paths with a soulmate connection. Another thing that I notice about a lot of these um, horoscopes, they're saying about soulmate connections. Uh, I don't believe they said anything about a soulmate connection for Aries. Cause I digress. But anyway, keep it moving. So it says, so don't miss this opportunity to put yourself out there and date up a storm. As long as you're dating up a storm, make sure that you are careful. There's too much going on out there today. All right. If committed, you can use this energy to reignite your spark together. Major news around children will come to Capricorn parents, and those looking to conceive may do so now. So, congratulations in advance. Aquarius, buckle up for an emotional moment, Aquarius. This lunar eclipse could bring a big shift to your domestic life, home, and family. A powerful ending may now be at hand, such as moving, renovating, or deciding to entirely redecorate. If involved in real estate or seeking to, news may pop up that you've got to tackle. However, if this is to affect your family instead, you may now be required to step in to help one of your kindred. Or it could be vice versa. Maybe one of your kinfolk will have to step in and help you, Aquarius. So, it could, you know, flip flop it or flip flop the energies however they fit. Okay? And this doesn't pertain to every single Aries, Pisces, or every single zodiac sign, or every single person, I should say, that is an Aquarius, because we all go through different energy phases. We all go through different things in life. So take what resonates. Pisces. It's time to open up your mind and perspective, Pisces. The lunar eclipse will empower your zone of communications, intellect, and ideas. Some of you may now release a significant writing, speaking, or advertising initiative before the world. You may now have Many people engaging with your ideas. Educational matters are also favored at this time. However, this lunar eclipse may instead propel you to travel, visit nearby destinations, or head off on a road trip. So we're done. So that it doesn't seem that it's not gonna be too bad. It's not gonna be that much of a shakeup. But I am kind of wondering like what's gonna go on within government because with the voting and everything that's happening on tomorrow, um, the lunar eclipse can also affect government as well. So let's see, what else should I know about the blood moon lunar eclipse in Taurus? Oh, interesting. So it's in the sign of Taurus, and that is my moon sign. So that tells me I'm gonna be affected in some way, form, or fashion by this. Um, lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are 3 times more powerful and emotional than full moons. They mark culminations, breakthroughs, and breakdowns, triggering a crisis event that causes us to assess our most internal feelings, fears, and actions. Oftentimes, some of the most memorable moments in our lifetimes take place near solar or lunar eclipses. This lunar this lunation will be a lunar eclipse in Taurus, the third of 4 we experienced between 2021 and 2023. Most people will experience the effects and news of this lunar eclipse on the exact day it takes place or even within the week, but others may instead feel it echoes out weeks before or after instead. So remember, as I stated earlier on in the video, it doesn't have to happen to you exactly tomorrow. It could be a few days out, a few weeks out. And remember, I talked about how the lunar eclipse also can affect government. All right, check this out. It says here, this lunar eclipse is setting up profound themes within all of our lives that will take at least 6 months to sort out. Because this is a lunar eclipse in Taurus, we will very likely see a shakeup around global stock markets, economies, and real estate markets. On a personal level, we'll be paying attention to our own wealth, assets, and investments. So this tells me that this particular lunar eclipse is going to be surrounded or focused on money and finances, and for some, relationships. And so some of us may be buying a new home, maybe but the housing market is just terrible now. But you know, it is what it is, and that's what we have to endure because so many of us, including myself, we are living paycheck to paychecks, and we're just trying to make it. But um, it's a pretty lengthy article, so if you want to read the rest, please feel free to do so. You can find it on the New York Post, November 7th, and it is titled Astrologer: Total Blood Moon Lunar Eclipse to Bring Shocking Global Event. So we could look for the stock market to crash if that happens. Maybe within a few months or a few weeks, it'll go back up because the stock market fluctuates, um, so on and so forth. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? So we talked about the blood moon. We talked about um, how South Carolina has been getting like so many earthquakes, at least here in the Midlands. We talked about subtropical storm Nicole could approach Florida as a hurricane. And I think that is about it for this video. It's almost 30 minutes long. That's pretty good. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. and checking me out. I appreciate you. And until next time, um, peace, love, good vibes, and meditate. For those of us who understand and know what that is and what that means, to meditate. And for those of you that come across this video, if you um, aren't too sure, do your research on it. Don't take my word for it. I had to do a lot of reading and I had to do a lot of researching, a lot of soul searching when I came into my spiritual, um, my spiritual walk, if you will, or my spiritual thinking, um, and really kind of leaving Christianity to the side or pushing Christianity to the side, and now focusing on what I believe in now. Um, it was a journey. That's all I have to say. It was a journey. It was a journey, and I really think that you have to be a chosen one to really understand this life path. But anyway, I can get into that and I can talk about that on another video. But thank you so much for checking me out. Until next time, peace, love, and good vibes.